When the wall went up 50 years ago, it divided a nation and forced a whole generation to grow up knowing two Germanys, the East and the West. We met up with Connie Holzbrecher.
Connie!
Hello!
Nice to meet you, Tom Hansen.
She grew up in communist East Germany, where life was tightly controlled by the government of the German Democratic Republic, or GDR. The government told you what job to have, where to live, even how much food you could have.
How much control did the East German government have on your daily life?
So bis es
In
Abend.
every way, the government wanted to know everything about your private life. You were looked after more by the government than your own family.
Teens couldn't even wear certain brands of clothing, watch certain TV shows, or listen to popular music.
Also wir als Kind.
When I was a kid, I had a cassette tape from a West German rock singer, and it was taken away from me and erased, which I couldn't understand at the time.
And her son?
And Connie would find out that the government had far more control over her life than she ever could have imagined. Connie is an identical twin, but she didn't know that. The communist government forced her mother to put her and her twin sister Uli up for adoption because they believed her family was too big. The twins were separated just a few months after they were born.
Das heißt, das wurde zu meiner Mutter gesagt.
I thought something terrible had happened, but my mother told me that she got a call from someone saying they were my twin sister. I felt shocked and happy all at the same time.
It turned out Uli had been living in the West, enjoying the freedoms that came along with it. Life in the West was pretty close to life in America. They lived under a capitalist government that supported freedom of speech and expression.
Do you resent the East German government for splitting you and your sister up?
Ja, ein bisschen schon.
Yes, I do. Things could have happened very differently instead of one of us in the West and one of us in the East. Yes, I think we were robbed of being able to spend our childhood together.
The two exchanged letters and photos to make up for lost time.
So this is the first photo that you ever saw of Uli.
It was exciting news, but for years they had to keep the whole thing a secret. If the East German government found out, Connie could be in serious trouble, maybe even go to jail. According to some reports, more than 200,000 East Germans were thrown in jail while the wall was up. People like Kleva Yuritsa. At 18, he tried to escape East Germany, but was caught by the Stasi, East Germany's secret police force.
I wanted to escape from East Germany to West Germany. I was 18 years old, it was in 1984. As a young man, I could not imagine to stay the rest of my life in a country which is separated by a wall.
Behind bars, Kleva was treated harshly. Many believe it was psychological torture.
When the interrogator is not satisfied with your testimony, or maybe you reject the testimony, the interrogator could say, if you don't cooperate, so we had to arrest your father.
That was one of the Stasi's main ways of getting information, threatening to arrest innocent people. They forced millions of East Germans to spy on each other and report on people who didn't conform or who had ties to the West, all part of the GDR's system to have complete control over its people.
Das war schon stimmig.
On one hand, I could understand why people would spy. Those who did spy on other people did it under pressure from the government. They did it to get ahead and to do a job with a sense of purpose. Even my neighbors were spies.
But when the wall came down in 1989, like Germany itself, Connie and her sister were finally able to reunite.
Und das war wie so
It was almost like an electric shock when we looked into each other's eyes. The feeling was hold on and never let go.
And now Connie teaches her kids not of a divided past, but of a future unified.
Die haben das also.
It was very important to us to teach them that things weren't good back then, and that people had to fight for the right to be able to live the life that they wanted to lead. That's definitely important to us.
From Berlin, Tom Hansen, Channel One News.